All right. In this movie, I am going to go over how to use Geogebra to build a mathematical model of your trig star problems to be able to check your answers. Geogebra is a pretty awesome free online math tool that we've used a little bit throughout the year. So I'm going to start by heading to web. Now I'm going to go over how to build a mathematical model for problem 1, and then you're going to finish by building models of problems 2, 3, and 4. I land here on this page where I've got a graphing calculator. Start with these graphing calculator tools, even though they're awesome. I'm going to come over here and click on this geometry tools, the circle and the triangle. And then I still have these axes, X and Y axis and a grid. I don't really need those either. So I'm going to turn off the show axes, off the grid to no grid. Cool. So now I've got blank space just like you see in the trig star. Problem 1, it tells me that there's a side AB that's 86.27 and a side BC that's 158.16. And you're supposed to find the distance from A to C and angle ABC. A right triangle, like triangle ABC, with those same distances as a model to then analyze. Get a right triangle. And to make a right angle, I need some lines. So I'm going to start by making a line. Those are named A and B just yet. I'm going to use point A, maybe not point B, because it's not in exactly the right spot for me. And what I need is a right angle. So I'm going to use this perpendicular line tool to make a right angle. And notice that it tells me how to use the tool when I click on it. So when I click on perpendicular line, this pops up and says select a point and the perpendicular line. So I want the right angle to be at A, so that's my point. And I want it to be perpendicular to this line. Cool, so here I have a right angle. Now I want side AB to be 86.27 units. So I'm going to go ahead and use this tool, and I need to click more for more tools. This tool which says circle with a given center and a given radius. There's a few ways I could make a length of 86.27, but I'm going to use this tool. And again, it tells me start with a center point and then enter a radius. So I'm going to start with my center at A, and I want to make a point that's 86.27 units away. And I can't see anything. I did it, but nothing happened. Well, that's because 86.27 units is way far away. So I need to zoom out. There we go. There's my circle, 86.27 unit radius. Okay, that looks good. Now I want to make a point up here, 86.27 units away. So notice if I make a point on circle, it pops up saying the circle. And if I make a point on this line, it pops up saying the line. And if I make a point on both, it says circle C and line G. That's what I want. Well, I don't want it to be named point C. That's no good. So I'm going to right click on the point and I'm going to change the settings. I'm going to rename it point B. Great. So now I have a point A at the right angle and a point B 86.27 units away. Okay, I don't really need this circle anymore. So I'm going to go back to the algebra tools. And here's a list of everything I've made so far. I don't really need to see point that B1. And I don't really need to see that circle. Cool. So now the distance from B to C is supposed to be 158.16. So I'm going to go with that same strategy and make a circle with a defined radius, B, and go 150.16 units away. Cool. So this radius was 158.16. So when I make this unit, this point, I know the distance from B to C, 16. And there's all the points I needed. So let's get rid of all this extra stuff that I'm not using now. All I need is points A, B, and C. Those define my model. And my triangle using the polygon tool. which says select all the vertices and then the first vertex again. So I'm going to start at point A, go up here to point B, go over here to C, and back to A. Great. So here I have a mathematical model of triangle ABC. It has length of AB 86.27 and the length from B over to C 158.16. Now find the distance from A to C and the measure of angle ABC. So now I'm going to use these measuring tools in here. Measure. I'm going to measure an angle with this tool. I'm going to measure a distance with this tool. So I'm going to first start by finding the distance of side AC using my distance tool. And I'm going to click on side AC. And it tells me side AC is 132.56 units. And then I'm going to come over here to my angle tool. And it says select 3 points or 2 lines. So I'm going to find the angle between side AB and side BC. And it tells me that the angle here is 56.94 degrees. I clicked on the triangle and it told me all the angles. Let's go back and do that again. If I'd want to just find here, I'm going to click on that side and then this side. Oh, it tells me the exterior of the angle. Well, I don't want the exterior of the angle either. So we're seeing lots of pieces. If I start with this side first and then that side, I'll see the interior of the angle. There we go. Angle alpha, 56.94 degrees. Sweet. And we also could have done that thing I did and clicked on the triangle, and it tells me all of the angles in the triangle. Still 56.94 degrees. So much was 33.06 degrees. And here, the one we built as a perpendicular line, 90 degrees. Model that I built of problem 1. I could check and make sure that my model was correct. It's right. 158.16, that's right. Cool. And then I analyze my model to find the answers to the question. Thing to check your answers for 2, 3, and 4. Good luck. Ask me if you have any questions.